Well, I grew up here. I've lived here since I was in first grade, and very, very fond memories of being here. And I left to go to college, but actually came back for medical school. So I've spent quite a bit of all of my younger life and then a little bit of my adult life here. I went to Atherton for a year and then graduated from St. Francis, and then came back to medical school at the University of Louisville. Nobody usually believes me anymore. I used to have a y'all in there. It's usually when they find it, they're like, "You're from Louisville, really?" But I think it's actually, I take that as a compliment, and I think it sets you apart a little, and I've always really embraced my Kentucky roots. There's a terrific community here that I was very happy to be a part of. I have incredibly fond memories of everything I did in Louisville. The people from Louisville are so friendly and take their time and want to get to know you. It's not the fast-paced hustle and bustle of New York. So being from Louisville, I think actually makes me a better doctor and a little bit of a better person in some ways, especially around all the New Yorkers. I never thought that I was deprived of anything living in Louisville, Kentucky, and I think it helps me relate to people better. And also when people come to see the doctor, they want somebody to take their time with them. So I'd like to believe that maybe some of my Kentucky roots give me a little advantage there. When I was done with college and had decided to go to medical school, my father said, "Look, I'll support you wherever you want to go, but would you come back and check out the University of Louisville?" And I remember meeting the dean at the time, and he said, I was very plain with him. I said, "Why should I come back here?" And he sold me, and I thought, you know, it'd be nice to come home, and no regrets whatsoever. I think that my education at the University of Louisville School of Medicine was first class. And I think I've achieved a lot because of that. The Department of Surgery at the University of Louisville had a huge impact on me, even as a medical student. And this is one of the renowned departments of surgery in the country, and I'm certain, I'm 100% sure, that this ultimately influenced me in part to become a surgeon. All of the surgeons there were incredibly prolific. They're nationally accredited, even world-renowned surgeons. But it was seeing those types of examples that really led me to keep going, to push on. And I ultimately went to Tulane for my surgical residency, and in large part because the chairman of surgery there was Lou Flint. And Dr. Flint had spent a lot of time in Louisville on faculty and is a world-renowned trauma surgeon. So the Louisville connection was very strong for me and took me down to New Orleans. And a couple of years later, in 2005, Hurricane Katrina came around, and this was truly a life-changing event. So the hospital closed, the entire city closed. I literally moved my family up to New York, but it took 6 months for the hospital to reopen. And it was a time of tremendous soul-searching, actually, personally and professionally, because my interest in transplantation, I wasn't sure that I would ever really be able to do transplantation at that hospital again. And I decided that regardless of what it would mean for my career, I really wasn't sure, and got a lot of advice, some good, some bad, and I decided to stick it out, and no regrets. Within 6 months of the hospital open, we'd already done 100 transplants, including liver and kidney transplants. And that's a true testament to teamwork. The warmth of the people and the sense of community is not something that's easy to appreciate when you're in the middle of it, maybe, but I think when you move away and you get the opportunity to come back periodically, you really appreciate it. And the people who I knew 20, 30 years ago, I still know their parents, I still know their siblings, and it's an incredibly warm feeling of community that I think is palpable, and so I love coming home to Louisville.